And Peter.
Hello, Peter.
How you doing, Alex?
Wonderful, Peter. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Okay, first a little quick housekeeping announcement. Math Club's The Sales Escape Room, the final countdown. Sunday, November 20th in Dueling 227. 2 rooms will be running every 45 minutes starting at 2:45 p.m., with the last one starting at 6:30. You will have 30 minutes to complete the room. Sign up in the Duck at lunch/dinner. $10 group of max of 5 people. Group with the fastest time will get a prize of a $5 gift card to the Inside Scoop. Time is ticking, and for all you freshmen out there, there is an academic point for Character U.
Which I'm sure is very important for any of you wishing to get those scholarships and such.
Wait, there was actual scholarships applied for those things?
Yeah. You know, if you got enough points for Character U, you got $500 a year.
Oh, for heaven's sake. I tried to dodge those things because I saw no intellectual worth in them whatsoever.
Well, they give you something for it. They're trying to build some character.
Unbloody believable.
It's okay.
Oh, damn, I forgot you have to get something primed. You gotta get the
what do I have to get primed? Oh, I do have to get the theme song primed.
Yes, you do.
Where's it hanging out at?
I have no idea. You
It's somewhere in
just type
here.
Where Gods Walk the Earth in there, then it will come up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. We kind of blew it there.
It's okay.
There
they
you go.
wouldn't know. We got this
Alright,
anyway.
so anyways, now before we kick off the theme tune, we have a special message from some people who are very, very special, near and dear to me. This message was posted on YouTube a few hours ago. So,
Hello, I'm Jeremy Clarkson and I have received a message. It's from somebody called Holden Man 3000 and it says, I was really looking forward to the Grand Tour, but Amazon Prime still isn't available in my country.
Where's he from?
No idea.
I don't think it's
And
Australia.
I'm sick of it and I don't want to watch your show anymore and I won't watch it even if I can, which I can't. Screw you, Grand Tour. Screw you.
Strong stuff, but he's right. When the Grand Tour launches on November the 18th, it'll be available only in the UK, US, Germany, and Japan.
Ah, not so fast, because we have received a package from Amazon. No, it contains my glasses and a letter, which says, in December, we will be launching the show globally, which means you will be able to watch the Grand Tour in over 200 countries around the world.
Oh, what else does it say?
It also says, blah, 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 you annoying short ass, blah, blah, granting oath, blah, 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 one with the ladies' hair.
No, it's very specific about
It
your
says-
ladies. Old ladies' hair.
It doesn't say that, it says the one with the ladies' hair.
Okay.
No, it says, when the Grand Tour launches worldwide, everyone will be able to catch up on the shows that have aired to date and then get a brand new episode every Friday on Amazon. And remember to keep an eye on the Grand Tour Facebook page for more news.
So there we are, the Grand Tour, soon to be available to everyone. Except you, Holden Man 3000, you're banned.
Wherever you are.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond are returning to doing what they do best in the Grand Tour on Amazon, which will premiere this weekend on the 18th.
Very good.
Are you stoked, my friend?
I guess so. I'll have to check out what it is first.
It's Top Gear.
Oh, yeah.
It's Top Gear,
I love
only
Top Gear.
it's not under the ownership of the BBC after they decided to shaft themselves by dismissing Jeremy Clarkson after
okay.
yes, indeed.
Because
indeed.
now we have some awesome stuff to watch. Weekly episodes, they said?
I believe so.
And I have, will that be part of Amazon Prime membership?
Yes, it will.
Oh, thank goodness.
Anyways, now
That's
that we
very
have...
exciting news, actually.
Yes, indeed it is. So anyways, we know that the gods are real, so it is now time to go to our special place where men are men and where gods walk the earth, the world of Formula One and professional motorsport around the world.
Well done. Pits one, pick up rubber. Awesome job. Unbelievable. We are world champions. World champions.
I love that theme tune, but in a couple of weeks we will have to put it on hiatus until the season kicks up again, because last weekend was the Brazilian Grand Prix, which we will get to, and then there's no racing next weekend, but the weekend after that is the Grand Finale in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, yes.
And then the theme tune will go on hiatus, and we'll have to work out something else to talk about.
I'm sure we'll find something.
But in the
entertaining.
meantime, we've got some couple of sad articles of news. First of all, the Nissan Delta Wing is now officially dead.
What was the Nissan Delta Wing?
Well,
may I ask?
in the in the United Sports Car Championship, which is America's premier sports car racing series. You know, it's better than NASCAR in many ways, but still owned by them. It's all about sports car racing around a track. And many of those drivers, the Corvettes mainly, go to Le Mans.
Of course.
Now, the Delta Wing was a very, very peculiar prototype.
Sure looks like it from here.
So basically what they did was they took the cockpit of a Le Mans prototype, but they narrowed the front of it so it became an arrow. Now, I've seen this thing race a couple years back at the Daytona 24 Hours, and in the hands of a lady, it absolutely sliced through the competition. She was passing and passing. It was absolutely magnificent. And then a dude took over and crashed it.
Of course. And who says women are bad drivers, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, Panoz is getting back into wacky-looking front mid-engine race cars with the GT4 Racer based off its latest sports car, according to Panoz Avizzano, the company announced this week. Unfortunately, to make that happen, they needed to pull staff away from one last run of the Delta Wing. The Delta Wing is finished.
Poor thing.
I know, I mean, it's a
It looks pretty awesome.
Well, this is what they're going to be building instead.
Oh, okay, never mind. That looks like a decent replacement.
They're building proper sports cars, and I believe they're also going to be fielding racing and consumer versions
looks
of
like
this
a Porsche.
vehicle. Not, well, kind of, but the
a
front's
little bit.
Stretched
Well,
out
because
forward a
there's
bit.
an engine in the front. Oh, wait. Yeah,
And it
the
has
engine is in the front.
And it has an actual trunk you can use.
Unlike a Porsche.
Yeah, so you can kind of get a glimpse of the Delta Wing in this image. I mean, like I said, it's a... I hate to use such crass language in front of him, but I'm just going to say it looked a bit like a driving schlong.
It does.
So anyways, the Nissan Delta Wing is dead. Panoz is going to be bringing back proper sports cars. Second bit of sad news, Ron Dennis is out of McLaren.
So who's Ron Dennis exactly?
He was the CEO of McLaren.
Oh, well, that's
Now,
big news.
So, ladies, yeah, this is actually pretty
anybody
major
that works
now.
at
Apparently,
McLaren.
he's been dismissed.
Dismissed? Oh,
Yeah, he's been
what did he
dismissed
do?
as chairman of CEO. I think people weren't happy about his business decision. Now, I believe he still owns a 25% stake in the company, but
Excuse you.
I apologize.
It is okay.
So, again, but this is pretty big. First of all, McLaren is 4 parts, as we've discovered. There's the racing team, there's the car manufacturer, then there's the testing organization, and the parts bin manufacturer.
Parts bin.
Exactly, and we believe that was why Apple wanted to buy the company. You can buy if you are building a race car, you can put your telemetry equipment like your G-force load meters and your dashboard by McLaren. You can buy McLaren components, put it in your car. In fact, all of NASCAR runs in McLaren. So yeah, this is pretty big. So it would seem that Ron Dennis is out. So he's confirmed that he's stepping down from these roles. Dennis, who owns a 25% stake in the company, is against the move. Dennis failed to convince the High Court to block an effort to put him on gardening leave, according to the BBC.
Gardening leave?
I'm going to assume it's some really quaint British legal term
It
for
sure seems
we're
like
getting
it.
rid of the man. We're putting you on vacation whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Now shareholders will determine the nature of Dennis's departure from the company. Dennis had a falling out with longtime business partner Monsieur Auger, who holds another 25% stake in the company and has been shareholding in the team since 1984. The remaining 50% is owned by Barani investment fund Mumtalakat, who Auger reportedly convinced to side with him on forcing Dennis to step aside. Ooh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe he... Now, remember a couple of weeks ago, we hyped up the thing about how Ross Brawn might take over for Formula One ownership instead of Bernie Ecclestone?
Yes. But Bernie then proceeded to say, no.
Well, Ross Brawn himself said
Oh, it was
no.
Ross said, okay.
Yeah, Ross Brawn
Okay.
himself said he wasn't going to do
He's
it,
like,
but
that's not me.
to which I'm thinking, maybe Ron Dennis would be up for it. Maybe Ron Dennis is what we need to run the Formula One team. Anyways, we are going to now press right along to the next article. It's something a bit happier, I guess. All right, here's something interesting. No, you know what? We will put this off to the very, very end. So we have to go to another sad bit of news. Now this was Felipe Massa's final Brazilian Grand Prix.
Of his own country.
Exactly, his final home race, and so his sponsors at Martini Rossi Fine Vermouth have decided to forego their title sponsor on the car and put his name on the logo instead. So as you can
Wow.
see, it says Massa instead of Martini on the side.
Impressive.
Yes, indeed. So anyways, let us now go to Brazil. Or, sorry, as Mr. Vin Diesel would say, Brazil. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was the Brazilian Grand Prix last weekend, and it was a very special kind of a carnival, wouldn't you say?
I'd say so.
Yeah, well, anyways,
It was kind of crazy.
Alex and I were in here reporting for the full race, and I was in the day beforehand broadcasting the qualifying, indeed. And things were strange. So let us remind you, this is it's a very small but a great grand sweeping circuit. Tight
71
corners,
laps.
71 laps, tight kilometers, tight corners, great sweeping corners, and lots of elevation changes. 71 laps for a total of 305 kilometers. And I'm going to silence this thing because this is actually kind of distracting. Yeah, so that was the Raptas Armas by MC Junior and MC Leonardo, Brazilian outfit who do lots of favela music. Anyways, so we begin in qualifying where it was very fast. I gotta say, it was actually scheduled for me to get to do it because, one, I was alone, and two, the data in qualifying just comes in. I mean, I kid you not, you really missed out.
It's funny because we were missing data during the actual race.
Exactly, but I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it's a shame you missed it because, I mean, oh my God, it was so intense doing it. Like, you just see the lap times come and say, okay, Nico Rosberg has it. Wait, no, Lewis Hamilton has it. No, what? Ricardo. The shifting is again. No, Hamilton has it again because the data just keeps pouring in because they're just coming so quickly. It's beautiful. Anyways, Lewis Hamilton took pole with a Q3 time of 1:10.736. Hang on, I should confirm something. Oh my, yes, I should believe it actually. That is 1 second faster than Juan Pablo Montoya's record from 2004.
So is this a new record?
Yes, it is a new record.
From the qualifying or from the race?
Well, just the fastest lap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because strictly speaking, fast laps count anywhere.
Okay,
It doesn't matter, as long as it is the fast lap, because a demonstration how fast a car can go there. So Juan Pablo Montoya's time has been smashed. He was at a time of 1:11.4. Hamilton has 1:10.7.
Of course.
Yeah, so really
as usual, he's crushing records.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it really goes to show that the cars are really back up to speed again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people were complaining about how slow the cars were. Well, now they are
definitely back up to speed. None of the breaking records
from 2004. And again, that was I believe that was the era of the Ferrari F 2004, which was a legendary car designed by Ross Brawn. So, like I said, it's pretty amazing what Lewis Hamilton's accomplished. So, the starting grid was Hamilton, Rosberg, Raikkonen for Ferrari, Verstappen for Red Bull, Vettel for Ferrari, Ricciardo for Red Bull, Grosjean for Haas. That is one of the great performances we've seen from the Haas team so far. And then Nico Hülkenberg, Sergio Perez, Alonso, Bottas, Gutierrez, Haas, Massa, Fiat, Sainz, Palmer, Button, Magnussen, Wehrlein, Ericsson, Nasser, and Ocon.
Many of those who did not make it through the race.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, the attrition rate was actually, believe it or not, lower than some of the races we've seen. Yeah, really. A lot of guys, their cars just break down, they overpush, so therefore they got to retire the cars, or they just outdo themselves and beach the cars. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us now go for the race highlights. So we will
After 6 laps behind the safety
well,
car.
okay, unfortunately, this is wait, hang on. Do I have the correct video up here? Yes. So, alright, so I forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen, what happened at the very beginning, before the race even started, Romain Grosjean crashed his car.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he was going around for the warm-up lap to put the car on the grid position, and he smashed against the wall, the final corner. It's I mean, that corner has been eating cars up. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. And then, of course, they decided to start the cars off under a safety lap, and then after 7 laps beneath the safety car, they finally got racing, and Hamilton was in the lead, and he was away, followed by Nico Rosberg and Kimi Raikkonen and Max Verstappen, and it was a downpour. You could not see anything on the main straight. It was nothing but a big stream of rain fog. And then, of course, next thing you know, Max Verstappen started going aggressive. He took 3rd place from Kimi Raikkonen in the first corner. So this boy was absolutely fantastic. 18 years old, barely old enough to shave, and he is tangling with Kimi Raikkonen, a world champion. And like I said, it was rainy. And then by lap 13, we've had our first casualty. It was a Marcus Ericsson of the Sauber. He smashed against the wall. So what happened was he was driving along, the car spun out, snapped out, the left smashed against the right wall, so the car was backwards, and then he slid across and then he managed to and then he basically was
I
able
don't
to
know
finagle
how he got
it.
to the pits.
Well, he was able to finagle it. You can steer with one wheel.
I
And
guess
then
so.
that was, And then there was several laps on the safety car, and after 19 laps, the safety car was off, and the boys were racing again. And again, the rain was so downpour. There was a lot of standing water, and then next thing you know, Kimi Räikkönen smashed and pinballed across the sides of the main straight, and that was just under one lap. And because there was a Ferrari on the main straight, they decided to red flag it. So first they deployed the safety car when it was announced that Kimi Räikkönen had spun out and there was a car on track. But then upon realizing, hang on, I mean, like I said, we're going to watch it again. And what happened was he came around the corner, snapped out, smashed the outside wall, bounced onto the inside wall. And this is the view from Esteban Ocon. And he was driving along and whoa!
He almost hit him. He was in his car.
He could barely see him.
So then another red flag was
And then the
pulled
red
for that.
flag came out, which meant everybody had to return to the pit lane while they clear the main straight.
Also, a big issue with this was not exactly the rain itself, but the water that the rain has left, and the plume of water just coming up behind these cars. If you're behind somebody, your visibility is very low to nothing.
You can't see anything.
And that's probably a big reason. Well, not a big reason.
And
but,
then after an hour or so, on lap 33, they restarted the race, and they were away again. And of course, now the order did maintain, but throughout the first few corners, Max Esteban, whoa. Oh, so I completely missed that one. So anyways, it would seem that Max Verstappen managed to pass Nico Rosberg and was able to take second position, and the two of them were fighting it out viciously, absolutely viciously. So he was able to sneak through. Was it on the inside or the outside of the center curves? No, it was not. He was. He
pulled that.
He was able
really
to pass
great.
on the outside of the longest set of the center curves.
I think we're forgetting a lot of stuff because of how long it took. It was almost agonizing.
Indeed, it was. But then Max Verstappen spun out. But did he smash against the wall?
Nope.
No, he didn't.
That was one of the double yellows.
Indeed, that was one of the double yellow sectors, but that lasted very, very briefly. But it was the most magnificent performance. The way he was able to catch it was absolutely fantastic. And of course, and then at this point, this was lap 39 and 71. Nico Rosberg was tailing him, and Christian Horner had the smile of a smug man. And then Nico Rosberg had a slight wobble. Again, that same corner where that seemed to be getting everyone out.
But thankfully, he was able to hold on.
He was able to hold on. Just from Hamilton.
So Nico had a half spin exit of 12 through 13. The race spun up, so just exercise caution.
And then, unfortunately, at lap 48, Felipe Massa was eliminated. He was driving along.
From his own race.
He smashed, and then unfortunately the car snapped out. He bounced off one wall and smashed onto the inside. And it was a very heartfelt experience. He was draped in the flag of Brazil. And as he walked along the pit with his Brazilian flag cape, everyone applauded him because this man has 200 race starts under his belt. His wife came out for a sweet embrace. It was an emotional time, and he was close to tears.
Is he pitting? He's pitting.
He is.
And then things got strange. Now, this is a key moment. On lap 55 under safety car, Max Verstappen pitted. He came off of the... Oh, wait, no. We missed a pit stop, it would seem. He was on intermediate. He was on wets, then at some point they put him on intermediates, and then they put him back on the wets on
So
lap
he took
51-71.
another stop there.
Indeed. And then lap 66, and they were racing again. The safety car was off, and Max Verstappen was tangling with Sebastian Vettel in 5th place. And as he approached the final series of corners, he passed Sebastian Vettel on the inside. And was there contact? No, there was not, but it came so close. But
He
Sebastian
pushed
Vettel was
him
right
off
off
to
the
the side. I remember
yes.
him complaining about that.
Sebastian Vettel was pushed off the side. Max Verstappen shot through and took 5th position with 71 laps.
Completely legal move also.
It was a legal move indeed.
He just sort of came around the corner at the angle that favored
And then
him.
Verstappen just took it to Carlos Sainz Jr. I'm sorry, I know how much you seem to love
Oh, I
Carlos
know.
Sainz Jr.
I think it's just his name I like so much. It's his name.
Indeed. And then it was a bit of a fight between Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, but then Max Verstappen managed to... He was tailing Perez, and then he took him on the outside of one of the and corners. And this was 69 of 71 laps to go. It was a vicious fight for third podium, the final position on the podium. And then for lap 71, and then 70 of 71 laps to go, Verstappen took it, and there was much jubilation in the Red Bull pits. And this was Lewis Hamilton's first victory in Sao Paulo. But it's not going to do him much good, because in second position came Nico Rosberg, and after what was an absolutely phenomenal drive, came Max Verstappen in third place. And like I said, it was a bit of it was a long straight. It took us like what was it, 3 hours ultimately to get through the race?
At least 3, maybe 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. We were cooped up in the studio trying to pass time between safety cars and red flags,
and it was a challenge, but we did it. We definitely did it. And this was the final.
Yes! Brazil! Nice work, Lewis. That's the Brazilian win, mate.
May have won a world championship here before, but had never won a race here before.
Yes, Lewis Hamilton finally took his first proper win in Brazil.
Hamilton has won.
So, but however, here's the thing: the fight is still on, because I'll skip ahead to the Drivers' Championship. Now, strictly speaking, Nico Rosberg still leads with 367 points. Lewis Hamilton tails at 355. Now, I have concluded that if Hamilton wins in Abu Dhabi, all that Nico Rosberg has to do is come into third place. Third place, and Rosberg is world champion.
Still a long shot, but
oh no! What do you mean a long shot? As
well,
Rosberg could lose the world championship?
He could. I mean, it's not like it's like I think it's not as simple as you're making it seem. Like he's got to make third place.
Well, I mean, under Mercedes power at a place like Yas Marina, he can do it. Because there are plenty of long straights there. There are some really tight corners, and there's this one really fantastic double apexer where you just have to modulate your throttle correctly. You just ride it through before you brake.
So that's all he needs. That's all he needs. A third place win.
A third place win.
It's doable. You're right.
And of course, now assuming there is no technical fault, or
if your engine catches fire.
Well, actually, I believe Lewis. No. What happened with Nico Rosberg? With the first year of the V8s, it was a highly contested championship between him and Lewis Hamilton. But unfortunately, he had a mechanical problem where he was like down on horsepower, and he was just unable to maintain. He just could not do
Cars
it.
in limp mode.
And for some reason, the FIA that year decided to implement a double points finale. Nobody was happy about that, so they scrapped it after that. But no, it's again, I believe Nico Rosberg can do it. All he's got to do is keep his head calm, and he can do it. All he has to do is finish third place, and as assuming Lewis Hamilton comes into first. If he comes into second, all bets are weakened. But again, so far it is Nico Rosberg's championship to lose. All he's got to do is maintain. So anyways, now going back to Brazil, the final result was Hamilton, Rosberg, and Verstappen, followed by Perez, Vettel, Carlos Sainz Jr., Nico Hülkenberg, Ricciardo, Nasser, Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, Kvyat, Magnussen, Verline, Button, and Guti. Oh, no, sorry. And then, of course, there's quite a bit they actually left off. First of all, now it's time to go through The Fallen. Part of me thinks we should have some Hunger Games soundtrack playing, but we don't actually have it on the computer.
No, nothing like that.
Well, actually, that's not true. We do have Jennifer Lawrence on there.
I wish we could search by things like dramatic.
No, search Jennifer Lawrence. I believe she should come up. And is it there? Apparently not.
Nope.
Oh.
We got nope.
Oh, a hanging tree. Search hanging tree.
I love that song.
Is the... Oh, there it is.
It's a remix.
Oh, that's fine. So anyways, kick it off and we will...
Are you?
Very good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here Jennifer Lawrence will sing a dirge for The Fallen. Roman Grosjean, as we have said, crashed his car before the race could even begin.
Lap.
It wasn't even the warm-up lap, it was the setup lap. You gotta, because as I said, the start-finish grid is along the pit lane, and the exit is after the start-finish straight. So you gotta leave the pits, go all the way around, and then you gotta push the car through the sea of mechanics and equipment into its starting grid position behind your designated grid girl. Actually, we don't have any news if there were grid guys there, because last year was quite a thing where they had grid girls and grid guys. So you had these hunky Brazilians who look like swimmers with afros. And so Romain Grosjean has DNS, did not start. Marcus Ericsson of Sauber crashes car on lap 11.
So quick, so soon.
Exactly. That was where his car basically snapped out. He smashed against the wall and was able to drive his car on one steering wheel back to the pit start, and they had to close the pit lane. And then Kimi Räikkönen, who pinballed on lap 19. He pinballed along the start-finish straight, smashing his car up, and because of where he was, they had to red flag the race, and that took a while. Jolyon Palmer for Renault, he actually rear-ended somebody during a safety car session. It ripped the front right of his car straight off, so that was embarrassing, so they had to get him off as well.
Oh, yes.
Felipe Massa, lap 46, took his car out. Well, again, he snapped. Everybody lost their car in the same way. He smashed his, he basically lost control, it snapped out, and then he pinballed against the sidewalls, and then it was a very heartfelt moment. And then, of course, this is a bit sad one. Esteban Gutierrez, a man whose future is in doubt with America's Formula One team, Haas F1. Well, apparently they had to do an emergency stop. We're not quite sure what it was. We don't know.
They never announced it, did they?
No, they never did.
All they had to do was just stop. He stopped in the pits, and then all of a sudden he was out of the race.
And he is throwing his gloves around.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's not too uncommon in Formula One because strictly speaking, this is bloody expensive. If you're going to have there have been times where they basically said, guys, you have to retire, you shut the engine off, or it will explode.
So there could have been some big issue about to come up that they did not want to risk him running the rest of the race.
Well, that and the fact that it was going to cost a lot of money too if the engine did explode.
Oh, absolutely.
Because like I said, they are allowed 6 key replacements, part replacements at least, and anything more, and they have to start incurring penalties. And I believe
the last thing Haas needs is a penalty.
Exactly. And so there we go. And, well, because there was so little actual racing, Jenson Button actually finished not in the same lap. So, yeah, this is the first time that they have finished, that McLaren is finished in the same lap as a Mercedes.
Very good for them.
Now, apparently, the Formula One website decided that that Max Verstappen's performance was so magnificent they actually gave him his own video.
Let's see it.
It was really unbelievable driving, great entertainment. Physics are being redefined according to Toto Wolff of Mercedes.
Driving in the wet has always separated the great from the good in Formula One, and Max Verstappen's drive at the Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo, hometown of legendary racer Ayrton Senna, was hailed as a masterclass, creating echoes of the great Rainmaster himself. Senna burst onto the world stage with a stunning performance in Monaco in 1984, and Verstappen's team principal said the Dutchman's performance stood comparison with that and also Michael Schumacher's victory in a wet 1996 Spanish Grand Prix.
You have to compare it to these great moments. I think what we saw today was something very, very special, said Christian
skill
Horner.
And bravery from the off, with passes on Kimi Räikkönen at turn 1 and Nico Rosberg at turn 3, driving clean round the outside of the World Championship leader as he followed the traditional dry line. He also did tremendously to survive this heart-stopping moment shortly afterwards and keep his Red Bull out of the barriers.
Okay, well held, Max, well held. Yeah, heartbeat went a bit higher there.
Running second to Lewis Hamilton, Red Bull had seen his teammate Daniel Ricciardo going a second a lap faster by switching to intermediate tyres, and they told Verstappen to pit. But the rain intensified, and it turned out to be a bad call. So when Felipe Massa's crash brought out the safety car and some tissue boxes, the Dutchman had to pit again for full wets. It dropped him right down the order, and it looked like they'd thrown away an easy second place and perhaps even a chance of a race win. But what came next will go down in history. In the last 16 laps, Verstappen made up 11 places, picking off drivers in swashbuckling fashion as the world watched enthralled. Teammate Ricciardo was dispatched around the outside of the high-speed downhill left-hander at Mergullo, and four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel was passed in an uncompromising style.
He pushed me off the track. I was a little bit ahead with my nose, and he just pushed me off the track.
Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez were also among his victims, as he charged through to secure a 7th podium of the season, while Ricciardo finished down in 8th. It's hard to compare performances from different eras of Formula One, and Verstappen was undoubtedly helped by having fresher tyres than his rivals in the closing stages. But this was a truly standout performance, arguably greater than his breakthrough win earlier this season in Barcelona. Still aged just 19, Verstappen increasingly looks like that once-in-a-generation special talent.
Now,
That was pretty cool.
Well, here's the interesting thing. If they hadn't told him to pit, to put on
Those
intermediates,
tires.
what if he did not pit at all and switched to intermediates? He could have won. I think
Possible.
I
Or he
genuinely
could have slipped.
No, I genuinely believe that. Well, I mean, those wet tires were really durable. It turns out when you were in the downpour section. Now I'm thinking, if he hadn't pitted and he hadn't wasted time on ground switching back to what was actually the faster tire.
Did he switch back to intermediates or what?
No. What happened was he was on wets, and then they discovered that Ricciardo was doing some decent times on intermediates, so they said, "Pit, we're putting on intermediates." And then came the safety car, and then Christian and Horner said, "Okay, Max, tell me, wets or intermediates?" And then Verstappen said, "Put me on the wets because I can't drive with these things." And they put him back on. Now I'm
A lot
thinking,
of people were having trouble with those intermediates.
Now I'm thinking that if he had not pitted for those intermediate
I think
tires,
he could have won.
Indeed, I believe so. Like the way he was able to take on Nico Rosberg was absolutely magnificent. So I think he may have had a chance.
I do think now that you explain that, I do agree.
Yeah. And so as we've said, Nico Rosberg leads in the World Championship. Lewis Hamilton follows behind, and he can win so long as Lewis Hamilton wins in Abu. Okay, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to pull out my points calculator again. This is a very, very useful tool.
Yes, it is. You've been using this all the time.
Oh yes, I am. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to, oh God, hang on. For some reason that didn't work. F1 points. So, ladies and gentlemen, go into f1fanatic.co.uk and find the points calculator, and you can put up your leads as your race results as you so desire, and you can see the scenarios unfold before your very eyes. So, here's what I've concluded: if Hamilton wins in first, Rosberg, if he comes in third, will still win the World Championship by 2 points. Now, if we reverse it, now let's say Hamilton would have come into second place. Let's say Max Verstappen just takes that thunder because there's a freak outbreak of rain in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, yes.
Nico Rosberg, if he comes in third and Hamilton second, will still win by 9 points. But if Hamilton is in second place, then that would mean Rosberg will come in. I'm going to run the permutations. Rosberg will, in fourth place, Rosberg will still be world champion. Fifth place? Come on. And update. We still win by 4 points if he comes in fifth. 6. Like, I'm trying to predict the threshold here. He still wins by 2 points if he comes in 6. So basically, if Hamilton comes in second, I believe 7th will be the special place he cannot fall beneath. Yeah. Oh, if he comes in 7th, then it will be a tie.
Oh wow.
But that has to be Lewis Hamilton 2, Rosberg 7 to be a tie. So that is probably unlikely.
It's not going to happen.
So I believe Rosberg will win the championship.
Well,
there's only one way to find out.
Exactly. All I gotta say is we just gotta wait and see because I have no predictions.
And that will be and we will not look at Abu Dhabi this week because that is for next week. So now here's some interesting news. First of all, apparently a 13-year-old kid has just won a Lamborghini. No, sorry, he was winning a global time attack behind the wheel of a Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo race car. He's 13 years old, and this is a Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo race car. So basically, if you have the money and you can buy a Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo, it is race prepped. You buy it, you are a Lamborghini racer, and you can race in the Super Trofeo Cup, which is a spec series for Lamborghinis. So he won the global time attack at Buttonwillow in SoCal, where a young, what's his name? Aga Khani just kicked butt. We should keep the language low because it's a 13-year-old kid. Aga Khani wanted to win the event overall, but he came up 0.3 of a second shy and still impossibly impressive 141.612, and that was at Buttonwillow Raceway. I do not know that place at all. Still, He's 13 years old, and this is a race car with, what is it?
A lot of power and very lightweight, I'm sure.
Yeah, hang on. Okay, 620 horsepower rear-wheel drive with 6-speed sequential gearbox.
So it's all paddle shifting.
Yeah, true, but still pretty impressive. I mean,
Oh, yeah, no,
it's
but
not
no,
a
very,
go-kart.
very.
It's not a go-kart, that's for sure. Boy.
Well, he knows what he's doing, that's for sure.
Indeed. And now here's some other interesting news. Now, you remember you were looking at the Lamborghini...
Yes, I was.
Yeah, the McLaren F1?
Yeah, I like that.
They have a new one coming.
A new one?
Yes, that is right.
Is that a prototype right there?
No, this is the concept photo, but they've confirmed that they are going to do it. They are going to build them. They're going to sell them. There are going to only be 106 of these things.
Oh, jeez.
Just 106.
How many are there of the current F1?
Oh... hey.
Plenty? Just like a good amount of them?
There-
Or they're,
well,
not, they're
they
not
are-
limited, are they? Or
Oh,
very
yeah,
limited?
they are. The McLaren
Oh.
F1. Let me check Wikipedia, the great repository of all knowledge. Okay. Okay, let's see. There were only 106 original F1s.
Okay.
And you know what? And you want to know who owns one of these?
Who?
Rowan Atkinson.
Who's Rowan Atkinson?
Mr. Bean. Johnny
of
English.
course.
He owns a McLaren F1.
Jeez.
Believe it or not, he's actually quite avid into motorsports. In fact, for a while, he actually held the top of the stolen reasonably priced car on Top Gear. Went back in the Suzuki Liana days. He actually held the lap record for a while. So yeah, the man is he looks like an idiot. He behaves like an idiot, but only when he's in character. Because he's actually, if you watch him in Blackadder, he's actually a really good-looking dude once you let him. I mean, have you seen him in Blackadder by any chance?
No.
Okay, well, let me do a
Let's
quick.
do some Google work.
Okay, so
Have enough tabs open?
Blackadder 2,
1, 2, 3,
Rowan
4, 5, 6,
Atkinson.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Ah, yes, here he is.
You have at least 20 tabs open.
So, anyways, here he is in Elizabethan
Oh,
garb.
wow.
Yes, he has a goatee in this one.
Yeah, he doesn't look terrible.
And, and then, of course, in Blackadder Goes Forth, he had a mustache and a World War I uniform.
Impressive.
And then in the Blackadder the Third, he was had a
like-
Regency era.
I was going to say.
And he is very cunning and intelligent in all of these series,
And
with the
he
exception of
owns a
Blackadder
McLaren
first.
F1.
Yes, and he owns a McLaren F1. That is true. Now, anyways, so McLaren have confirmed that they're going to be building 3 of these things, and just like the original, it is going to have 3 seats. One in the middle, and then of course the 2 other seats will be on either side of you, but they'll be a bit further back. So there'll be a bit of squeeze for them. So you have your. If you're very wealthy and you own one of these, you'll have your wife in one seat and your 19-year-old mistress in the other. No, there's a story. When Jay Leno was on Top Gear, he actually talked about how he owned one of these and was driving it around, and he ended up going through a fairly rough-looking neighborhood. And next thing you know, these 2 scary-looking dudes come up and go, "Oh my God, is this an F1? Was this designed by Bertone and all that?" Actually, no, I don't think it was designed by Bertone. But the point is,
But it was funny that
They
like,
knew
in a
a
sketchy
lot.
neighborhood, they understood a lot.
and then they asked, "Oh, could you give us a ride, please?"
And so he gave them a ride.
He gave him a ride. He raced through a tunnel at high speed, and next thing you know, there was a cop car on a speed
course.
trap. And then next thing you know, the car pulled them over, and then the 2 guys, they peered forward, saw the police officer coming to give them a ticket, and then they pulled out their badges and said, "We're undercover officers."
Undercover officers. Oh. So they were in the air. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
It's actually kind of Italian. There was oh God, that was a great bet.
Where was this at?
This was in somewhere in Los Angeles. 'Cause this
that's
is Jay Leno we're
That's
talking
really
about.
funny. That's
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah, kind of reminds. It's like how the Italian police would operate. Because Jeremy Clarkson wrote this fantastic book called Motor World. Basically, he just travels the world writing about car culture and his experiences. And he talked about how when he was driving the new Alfa Romeo.
The 4C, correct?
No, not the 4C. This was in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Early 90s. So he was driving the new Alfa Romeo at the time, and he passed a cop. Well, and then there was a cop car ahead. So he decided, I'm not going to try to mess with him, so I'm going to slow down.
Of course.
But however, the cop was stuck his hand out. He's waving forward. He's forward, like he's saying, "Wait, what are they indicating? Are they trying to indicate me to pull over?" So he pulls over, and then the cops pull over in front of him, and
like,
they
go,
say,
go.
"No," and they say, "No, we want to see how fast it goes. Come on, get on it, go."
Oh, man.
Yeah, even the Italian police wanted to see how fast this thing would
That's
go.
funny.
Yeah. And Well, actually, that's an idea. Maybe I'll just do story time one day. We'll just read
Oh
Motor
yeah, no,
World
that
on
sounds fantastic.
So McLaren. So anyway, so
Well,
as we were,
once the F1 season's over, we can just go through this. This is pretty entertaining.
Indeed. So, anyways, so a statement from McLaren regarding the new F1. We are calling BP23 a Hyper GT because it's a car designed for longer journeys, but with high levels of performance and driver engagement expected of any McLaren. A hybrid powertrain will make it one of the most powerful McLarens yet created, but the car will also deliver the highest levels of refinement, enabling significant journeys to be undertaken with up to 3 people aboard.
Of course. So what does it mean by a hybrid powertrain?
A hyper-powered...
hyper-powered.
No,
Okay.
a Hyper GT. Because here's the thing about a hypercar. They're awful on the road.
Of course.
Well, supercars in general are just bad on the road.
Yeah, they're meant for tracks.
They're meant for tracks, they're meant for speed, and a lot of them are optimized for the Nürburgring. So that kind of is an upset, because when you optimize something for the Nürburgring, you make it useless. Now, McLaren, however, first of all, they actually optimized that car for the Top Gear test track.
Very nice.
Now, there's a section, because the track is, strictly speaking, multiple runways and taxiways linked together in a figure 8.
Yeah.
There is a component called the follow-through, where they're on full power. So it's a long right into a long left, and if you take the corner correctly, you basically cut a corner. You smack this thing hard. You smack hard. It's excruciating, especially in a Ferrari. But when Jeremy Clarkson did it in the McLaren MP4-12C, they really need to come up with better names for this.
Yeah.
He didn't feel it. The
Wow.
car is suitable for the road. That you can.
That's impressive.
Now, and it is very intelligent, very smart. In fact, this is probably why Apple wanted to buy McLaren, because there's a lot of computer assist and it's kind of unintuitive for people who actually know what they're doing. In fact, there's a Fifth Gear, which is a bit of a Top Gear knockoff on ITV. They actually did a test comparison between the McLaren MP4-12C and the Ferrari 458 Italia. And what happened was they actually skipped out. What happened was the McLaren entered a slide, and then the driver, who was actually a former racing driver, and I believe that was Tiff Needell at the time, he countersteered, but the computer was kicking in already, so he overcorrected. The computer made him do it. And then Jeremy Clarkson made the point about how, you know what, you are able to disable the driving aids. You have to press this button and then hold those two down at the same time for 5 seconds. So he asked the McLaren engineers, why is it so hard to turn the traction control off? And they say, well, why do you want to turn it off? Well, so we could have fun. Fun, they said. We'll have to look that up in a dictionary. Yeah, so like I said, the McLarens are great for the road. In fact, I've actually, I'm pretty sure there's a guy somewhere in the valley who owns a McLaren MP4-12C. I've seen, it is orange. I've seen it at Waffle House and at Red
What a
Robin.
place to go.
Yeah, I was sitting in the Waffle House enjoying breakfast, and next thing you know, this
McLaren pulls
McLaren,
up.
this shiny, fancy McLaren pulls up, and the dude is, he's very tall.
Wait a second. I think I might have seen it at the promenade shops. I think I might have seen it.
Well, there is definitely an Aston Martin that we're seeing a lot.
It wasn't it wasn't
Yeah,
McLaren.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
Because I didn't realize how rare they were.
Well, there's the thing. They're probably not too rare. Like, they're definitely one of the more mass-produced ones.
I was gonna say.
No, McLaren MP4-12Cs and the new one, which I forget the name of, those are production
Oh,
cars.
okay,
Like,
they're
they are
production cars.
cranking them out, but they're still going to cost you like $250 or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it then. I've seen if it's orange. Oh my gosh, I was looking at the brake calipers. I'm like, wow, these are bigger than my head.
Oh, actually, speaking of seeing rare cars, now McLaren have produced a hypercar. Like their absolutely insane thing, which is just beyond all comprehension. I've seen one multiple times.
Let's see it.
No. Where is it?
Wait, you're in the
SkyDrive?
wrong folder.
OneDrive? No.
Check your OneDrive.
Yeah, I am in my OneDrive. It's not there.
Is your OneDrive signed in?
I should be.
Because you're not using
may
the
have
lap computer anymore.
Oh yeah, it might have. Point is, when I was at Silverstone, I saw 2 McLaren P1s. The McLaren P1 is their super hybrid. That is their hypercar. In fact, it was quite a big deal on the Grand Tour when they were able to get the Porsche 918, the Ferrari LaFerrari, and the McLaren P1 all together on the same track. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a momentous occasion that you will see on the Grand Tour. And so, like I said, it's there's going to be 106 new McLaren F1. So if you ever see one of those, you are special.
Well, I think everyone's special anyway.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess so. Yeah, all right, so that's that. So I was hoping to I was hoping there'd be more audience members passing by so I can inquire about
nobody.
making queries about them. But anyways, I got this in the mail yesterday.
What is that?
The Speed Gear Authentic Raceway 2016 Holiday Edition.
Speed Gear Authentic
This
Raceway.
is the catalog in which I get all of my racing wires.
Oh, very nice.
I have, in fact, underneath the shirt, because it's still a bit wet, I've got my... Oh,
Ooh.
bugger. We just lost the sound. Whatever. I got my Red
Very
Bull
nice.
team wear, which I got out of the Speed Gear... Speed Gear. All of my flags came from Speed Gear. Well, actually, no, not the Ferrari flag. I actually got that one at the airport in Italy.
Very good.
The other two are from Speed Gear. Let's take a look. So we start off on the Mercedes page, obviously.
Of course, the first one.
Yes, indeed. So you've got your various caps. You've got the more hip-hop style flat peak cap, if you see what I mean.
I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't get them either. Well, you can
But
get...
people do like them.
You can get the Mercedes versions of those. You've got... In fact, they already have the Race Winner 2016's T-shirts, Factory Constructor Cup T-shirts out already.
Of course.
No, I mean, as soon as they won the Constructors Cup last year, like, they had the T-shirt ready to go. Like, they announced them on hours after they won it. And you can also get your Mercedes umbrellas. They'll put you back maybe, well, the travel umbrella is $45, but the team umbrella, which is a big proper thing, is $65. You can even get your Mercedes sports bags for $79, and then, of course, you got your team accessories. Like, you got team lanyards, white mugs, sport bottles. In fact, oh, there's a keychain in the shape of a spanner, if you look at that.
I see it.
Yes. Wait, do people in America know what a spanner is?
No.
It's a wrench.
I was going to say, it just looks like a wrench to me.
And now we come to the good stuff. The Ferrari attire.
Of course.
Yes, we've got quite a bit here. So we've got some really heroic looking t-shirts. Some of them have little patches, some of them got big patches in the front. You've got little Ferrari, we got Ferrari polos with a nice little logo. We even have performance polos, which are made of polyester, but they've got zips instead of buttons. I think those are pretty neat looking. You've got your big flags, and you've got your really fancy keychains. Like, you've got them, they kind of look like bolos down there, don't you think?
They do look like bolo ties.
Yeah, they're little Ferrari bolo ties for your keychains.
Huh.
Oh, and you've got padded vests. I mean, those actually look kind of cool.
I like the die-cast models.
Oh, indeed. So you can get a, not pictured, oh, actually, yes, pictured. Ooh, that is nice. You can get a 575 Zagato, which is a very belligerent looking thing. And then there's a, you have a 458 Challenge red car, which is like, that is the racing car. Like, you buy one of those, you're a Ferrari racer. And they've also got a Berlinetta, which is a very dynamic looking thing. In fact,
I like that.
oh, no. Oh, this is what was in that James Bond movie, GoldenEye.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, damn. Oh, so
I
this is,
haven't seen the classics.
this is what Pierce Brosnan was racing against. Famke Janssen, who you would know as the wife from Taken, and Jean Grey from Phoenix. Jean Grey / Phoenix from the X-Men movies. She drove one of those.
Very cool.
Indeed. And then we move on to the next page where we have the women's Ferrari wear.
Sweet.
So you've got the
Coffee mugs.
You have V-neck ties. You've got Ferrari tank tops for ladies. That you have,
Oh my
and you
gosh.
also have
Teddy
stretch
bear
pants
collection.
and stretch pants.
Of course. You gotta have those stretch pants.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, so you have little Ferrari teddy bears, and
That is cute.
yeah, so you've got I've had little teddy bears with little Ferrari shirts and the little Ferrari brand on
Of course,
it.
more hats, some shoes.
Oh yeah, actually, I've seen a guy.
The shoes look pretty good.
yeah,
I'll
these-
be honest, I'd wear that.
Though those are Puma drift sneakers. Like, those are actual driving shoes and not racing shoes. Were made out of the made of Nomex flame retardant material, but those are definitely
driving shoes.
those are driving shoes. In fact, I have seen somebody on campus in black ones with those somewhere.
They look pretty good.
Oh yeah, they are. I always thought about it because, but unfortunately, I'm not a fan of the overt color. Like, I prefer something more subdued. Like, I prefer if they were brown leather or black. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
of course. I can see that on you.
Oh, and of course you actually have your team shirts, like the proper things that the pit crews wear. You've also got Ferrari backpacks and Ferrari purses. Oh, if only there was some ladies walking past that we could actually inquire about.
They could all.
Yeah, well,
check 'em out.
if we see them, we
What's
will.
the next page?
Yeah, next page we've got Red
Red
Bull
Bull.
and Williams. Yeah. In fact, there's. Oh, look at that! There's a ski hat.
I like the ski hat.
It's an ugly a Red Bull ugly sweater beanie.
I like that. It looks like a Penn State beanie.
It looks like Penn State beanie, only it's Red Bull branded.
It says Red Bull.
And you've got your Red Bull mugs, your Red Bull lanyards, and of course you've got all of your
All the
Williams
important
wares,
things.
indeed. And oh yes, we got the memorable stuff. We have the Senna wear. So all the stuff for the great Ayrton Senna, number 12.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, including a Senna flag, which I think is really neat looking. Maybe we'll put one up. Oh, now this is something that always kind of peeves me. Ferrari brand iPhone and Samsung Galaxy covers, but not for LG. So this is for.
Well, they are the two most popular ones.
I know, but
in the United States.
I know, but still, I mean, no, even on the Ferrari official website, it's only Samsungs and iPhones.
Of course, because people that are
I mean,
uninformed about phones are like, oh, you got an iPhone or a Samsung. That's all it is to them.
I know, but still, either way, for these, I think these Ferrari phone covers look amazing.
They do look pretty cool.
Like some of them are made of carbon fiber. You've got leather.
Jesus,
You actually have
expensive.
a. Oh yeah, true.
But they have good materials. That's the
Oh yeah,
point.
good material, absolutely. Like that's a luxury brand for you. That's how you do. That's the proper way to do luxury, as opposed to what Donald Trump does, is just plaster everything with gold. Yeah. Oh, actually, that reminds me. I'll have to pull something up in a bit. And then, of course, you also got your other wares. You've got your Aston Martin Cup stuff. You've got your Maserati fanware, Honda fanware. Because this is... Oh, and, of course, a lot of Steve McQueen memorabilia.
Of course.
Because, after all, he was in a movie about the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which I thought it was overhyped.
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it.
I will say this.
Or heard of it.
It's from the 70s. It's a lot of new wave stuff. Like, it's just lots of montages of things being modern and cool.
Well,
But-
it was probably cool just because it was cool.
Very,
that was it.
I guess so. But
Kind of like
very-
how my dad really likes action
it's not
movies
that-
when
it's
stuff
not
blows
that-
up.
Yeah, no, it's not that plot driven as the
Same
thing.
idea.
And there's, like I said, there's a lot of montages, and well, it doesn't have the same kind of kaleidoscoping as they did in that Grand Prix movie from the early '60s. But the point still stands, and that is just home to every racer's favorite line of dialogue. Racing is important to men who do it well. Racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after, just waiting. But they do have this that I quite like. I actually saw this in the Tag Heuer shop, and I was thinking, oh, that's so cool. It is a jacket based on Steve McQueen's racing overalls from the Le Mans movie.
like it.
So it's white, but
You get the stripe.
But on one side you have a
Golf.
blue and orange stripe with Gulf sponsorship, and then on the other you have actually this is
I can't even see what
Tag
it is.
Heuer
Oh, it's
with the
Tag
Tag Heuer sponsorship as well. And then of course you have your DVD collections where you have the reviews from the 24 Hours of Le Mans on Blu-ray and DVD from 2002, 3, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, and
All of them.
16. And of course you have the full season review DVDs for $30 each. You can get the 2005 all the way to the 2016 review, and you also have the 70s, you even have the 70s reviews, so that's pretty amazing, I think. And then of course you got lots of diecast models, a lot of collector items. Oh, then the Haasware, the Haas team stuff at the very end. You got a choice of your gray and white caps, red and white caps, your all black flat caps, you know, those flat hip hop caps, and then you also got your team driver polos for Gutierrez 21 or Grosjean 08, and also you got your mugs and such. So like I said, oh, and here's something interesting: you can buy a tape dispenser shaped like a brake caliper.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Painted very well too.
Yeah. All right. So now, as we said, when the show ceases to be tea time in Formula One and just becomes tea time, we're gonna have to find new ways to stretch things out. But however, here's one of the few things I found. Now, you all know about the South African film director Neil Blomkamp, right? All these heard of him?
Sure.
Yeah, he's the man who did District 9 and Elysium and Chappie. Now
I don't know any of them.
Really? Okay, District 9 was the one where where like these lobster aliens come on a spaceship and they end up
Lobster
living
aliens.
Yeah, and they end up living in a slum in Johannesburg as refugees.
okay.
And then Elysium was the one with Matt Damon in an exoskeleton suit where he is in
I heard of
a
that.
third world Earth, and he's trying to get up to Elysium, which is a big spaceship for the top 0.5% more like. And then there's Chappie, which I have yet to see.
I saw the commercial for it.
Yeah, which is where you have
robot.
you have the robot, which is semi-sentient, and you have Hugh Jackman as a mercenary trying to capture him, and of course you also have Die Antwoord in there for some reason. So anyways, now Neil Blomkamp, in response to the Trump election, has published 2 13-second videos. They're actually pretty haunting, but they're technically speaking they're amazing, but they're kind of haunting and visually spectacular in an odd way. So we first have a video called Presidential Motorcade. Describe what you are seeing.
All right, so I see a presidential motorcade. Oh, there's something special in the motorcade. It's
It's a big gold monstrosity that occupies more than one highway lane.
What is that?
This is
huge.
presumably this is going to because apparently there is word that the Beast under President Obama is going to be retired and they're going to replace it. You know, that big so-called Cadillac limo, which
Yeah,
is
it's
really
beautiful.
Well, that thing
You're
is
not
going to get
telling me that's what they're gonna use.
no, they're not.
Thank
Neil
God.
Blomkamp just made this up. So
That's funny.
So we have to kick up the resolution so we can actually identify what's going on. So like I said, he's taken footage from a presidential motorcade recorded by some guy on top of a bridge.
He put some very interesting things, some gold,
Well, and this
Game
thing,
of Thrones looking stuff.
this thing looks like something out of Batman. Like it's a really really wide vehicle. It's blue, and it has gold trim on it. It's got like gold. It's got a gold eagle tail. It's got gold eagle feathers at the front, a big giant gold eagle, and I have no idea who the lady behind the eagle is meant to be. But then on the hood of the car looks like a missile launcher.
Yeah, it does. That car is white. What are you talking about? The top is blue.
Yeah, the top is blue, but the rest of it's white. True, but like I said, so it's going to be luxurious, just suitable for Mr. President Trump.
Of course.
And the second one is, where is it? Oat Studios.
Speaking of
and the other video is of Air Force One, the new one, which is
let's see.
Yeah, my trackpad misbehaves. It often does things I don't want it to.
That's why I like my track point on my
it's an Airbus A380 with 6 engines, tank tracks for landing carriage. It's got a ball turret at the front. It's got 2 massive guns coming out the side, and the top half has a greenhouse on it.
What a creative guy.
Yeah, Neil Blum. Yeah, and the fact that he melds the footage into the video so beautifully.
Like very well. Like, this looks natural.
I know, it's kind of disturbing.
Also something that's disturbing. I saw another one today. I don't understand why people have done it, but I see I think it's the 5th generation Camry, the 2001 and on. I see them with soft tops or hard tops or whatever they are. I don't know why. Have you ever seen them?
Camry with a
Yeah, I see them way more often than I should.
Wait, so is it a cabriolet or is it a convertible?
I don't know. It's not an official version.
Oh, well, there you go. People are probably hacking it
off.
But
there's so many of them.
Yeah, it's not, like every time I see a Volkswagen Golf, it's been lowered, or if there's a pickup, it's been lifted for no obvious reason.
Well, people take them off road and stuff.
Not always. Sometimes it's...
Well, yeah, you're right. Some people do it for ridiculous reasons.
It's just a compensation device.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These are Solaris, but where's the 2000... Oh, man. What? Come on.
Well...
2 Camry soft top. I want to see a Camry. These are all Solaris.
Okay. Maybe. Maybe they're aftermarket.
Whatever.
But either way,
I've seen too many for it to just be like an after. It's whatever.
Well, like I said, every time I see a Volkswagen Golf, it's been lowered. And I guess it's what you do.
It's what they do. People do.
If you have a pickup, you put an aftermarket exhaust tip on it, you lift it. If you got a Jeep, you lift it and probably actually use it correctly, unlike a lifted pickup.
We have big tires in ours. It's fun off road.
Yeah. And I got that thing serviced. It was a bit of an expensive bill, and
what did it need?
It needed a new windshield wiper motor, and it needed a new brake disc. I don't know. The parents say that next servicing we may put it down.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it served me well.
Of course.
So, do you have any last-minute thoughts?
I do not.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's
I like to go to the omelet bar.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. So we will tune in next week, Wednesday, 6 o'clock, and we will give you the briefer for the grand finale in Abu Dhabi.
Absolutely.
So, peace out, home dog.
For now, enjoy the music.
Could dress up to get love, but guess what? I'm never gonna be that girl.